What's up, y'all? Happy Saturday morning rants. I know it's Sunday. My bad. Give me some motherfucking room, some grace. I be busy sometimes on Saturday, to be honest. But I still got to rant for y'all because at least I spent the whole day yesterday thinking about what the fuck I want to talk about. Where do I start this conversation? You know, usually like what happens during the week in my work at gym trainers with the team, people calling me for pro bono advice. You know what that mean, right? That mean free. People be calling me for free advice, and I'm way too fucking kind. I swear to God, it reminds me when I was in nonprofit trying to be fucking kind to everybody. That shit has zero return on the investment. But I guess it's, I don't know, I guess it's the way my mama raised me or some shit. Somebody needs help, I try to help them. But I can't be doing everything for free, y'all. So this is not an invitation to hit me up. Even on the real estate side, people be like, oh yeah, you know, I just want to talk through and see what kind of lessons I can learn from you. Yeah, fuck you, pay me. The lesson you should learn is every hour of my time is worth money. Gotta monetize my motherfucking brilliance. I ain't fucking make all these mistakes in life to be giving that shit away. Okay, sometime I give it away. Actually, these rants is like giving it away. So I'm about to give it away to y'all. I want to talk about something I ain't talked about in a few months now, but it's been coming up over the last couple of weeks. And people seem to not really get it. And I don't blame you, because people get into nonprofits, don't get into it because they understand corporate law, because they understand, you know, how to manage a legal entity, because they understand how to run a business. Most people get into it because they want to do good in the world. You know, that's me giving people the benefit of the doubt. And so that means, like, the thing you don't understand is, like, the board of fucking directors. So at first, all you want is, like, 5 motherfuckers to believe in you. So, like, it'd be, like, your sister, your mom, your best friend, your high school buddy, and somebody who got a job that you think is somehow aligned with what the fuck you're doing. That's your initial board. I get it. That makes it look good. Like, oh, look, you know, I went and I got my corporation. I'm incorporated. Everybody say that I'm incorporated. Like, that's what means you in business. But I'm incorporated, and I'm applying for my 501c3, and I got a board, and it's my mother's sister's best friend's uncle on my board. And all that feel good in the beginning. And it actually don't matter much in the beginning. But the minute you start raising money and running programs, that shit fucking matters. Who's on your board? Why? Because those are your bosses. Like, you literally have hired your motherfucking boss. And you don't get many chances and opportunities in life to hire your boss. But that is an opportunity to hire your boss. And you're stuck with them because they're your boss now. Like, people be like, yeah, I'm going to get rid of my board. The board, they could get rid of you a lot faster than you get rid of them. That's the scary part. So, like, in the beginning, like, build some shit as if you know you're going to be successful. Otherwise, why do anything in life? Like, build some shit as if you know you're going to be successful. And then ask yourself, the minute I'm successful, are these the people I want to be surrounded with? Why? Because if you didn't ask them to raise money when you asked them to come on board, guess what? Motherfuckers ain't going to want to raise money because you ain't asked them to raise money. It's not their commitment. Some of them might. Most of them would be like, what? Raise money? I thought I was just here to tell you what the fuck to do and take credit for being on your board. No, it's not the case. So, like, put this shit in writing. Take people out. Have coffee. Have dinner. Be clear about what your expectations are. Don't let people get away with being on the board without committing anything to the board. And then make that shit fucking like a two-way street, bi-directional. They get something from you. They on the board of an amazing organization doing amazing work. They get to put that shit on their resume or their CV if you got some uppity-ass board members. And then you, in turn, you get something from them. So what do you expect to get from them? You expect to get governance. Like I said, they're the boss. So they get to govern, they get to watch the money, how it's flowing, where it's flowing. They volunteer, so they bring their ass in and give away turkeys or whatever the fuck y'all doing. Like, they should volunteer. If they're a lawyer, they should volunteer their legal support and their networks, you know. So, and then they should fundraise. They should fundraise. Like, that's, people somehow don't get that part. Like, boards are supposed to fundraise. Now, you might have a board of directly impacted people where you let them off the hook for like major fundraising. Like, you might have like a floor and a ceiling, or no floor, no ceiling. So like, you could give as little as you want or as much as you want. Some people got boards like that. Some people got boards, like I've had boards in the past where everybody is expected to give $10,000 a year. Biggest fucking mistake of my life, because all you get is a bunch of wealthy assholes on your board who don't know shit, and as soon as fucking the going gets tough, they get rid of your black ass. Then you learn your lesson the hard way. So you could go ahead for a fundraising board, but just be careful that you find a balance between people who share your fucking values and people who could give some money, which is hard to find, because most people who spent their whole life in the private sector raising money and never really doing good work and get to check a box by just being on your board don't actually share your values and have little appetite for the fucking risk that happens when suddenly your organization is in trouble. And everybody's organization is in trouble. If your organization is never in trouble, it's probably because you're not successful, to be honest. Every organization that's successful ultimately ends up in trouble, and you got to have a board that has the fucking resiliency to deal with that. But let's go back to like building your board and what your expectation. Look at this shit. I'm driving, doing this fucking rant. I'm driving out of Harlem. I'm in Morningside Heights because Columbia's not in fucking Harlem. I'm gonna go back to Harlem. I feel so much safer in Harlem. Back to boards though. So you got this board, and you realize 3 years in, oh shit, this board don't really want to help us fundraising, especially in a tough fundraising climate like the one that we're in now. Like, it's a tough fundraising climate. Not for everybody. If you got a good product and you got good solid relationships and you working with gym trainers, see that plug? See what I did right there? Then you're probably doing well with fundraising. I mean, our clients are doing relatively well with fundraising, to be quite honest. But it is a tough fundraising climate. It is, even though they're doing well, it's still more difficult. It's a heavier lift to get to the point of having a check in the bank. So you expect your board to lean in. What does that mean? Like, yo, they got to open up their network. They got to open up their home and have like gatherings. They got to open up their rooftop, whatever the fuck they got going on. That's their role. Their role is not just to tell you what the fuck to do. And I'm telling you, once you raise that money and you have some success, these boards be thinking that that's their fucking job, just to tell you what to do. But it's really not. And here's the other thing, like, if you build a budget at the beginning of the fucking year and they approve that budget, your board approved budget, then motherfuckers really shouldn't have any input in what the fuck you do during the year, to be quite honest. Like, the truth is, if they trust you as a leader, because that's their job, to hire the leader, to have faith in the leader, and approve the budget, and then during the year, that's it. Like, back the fuck up. Back up off me. Let me spend money the way I think it needs to be spent, and the way we all agree it fucking needs to be spent. And then, like, leave me the fuck alone. Back up. If you don't like the way I'm leading, then get rid of me. But, like, I don't want to come to you every time I want to. You're not my mama. I don't want to come to you every time I need to spend a little bit of money. I'm not your child. But if you don't think about that when you first put your board together, then you end up in this weird situation where, like, your board is expecting you to come to them if you want to spend $10,000 here, $5,000 there, $15,000 there. It's none of their fucking business. Like, if they care, they should watch the motherfucking variance reports from month to month. Make sure that you're not too off on the board approved budget. If you are, ask questions. But then after that, believe in your leadership, especially when you're probably raising more money than what's in your budget anyway. And then suddenly everybody want to tell you how to spend money. I'm telling y'all, boards, if there was one thing I could do over in my 17 years of fucking nonprofit, is to fucking drown my board in the fucking bathtub with my own hands. Like, it was just the worst fucking decision, like, who I decided to have on various boards throughout my life in the nonprofit space. So that one of my biggest warnings is, like, it's rarely you get to hire your boss. Usually you're the one getting hired. But if you're building a new organization, you actually get to hire your board. And boy, what a good fucking time to ask yourself what kind of people you want to be around before you find yourself around 10 assholes when the going gets rough. That's my solid fucking advice about boards. Tell you a little bit more about how you should be thinking about your board. So your board should be probably meeting quarterly. If you knew, you might want your board to meet every 2 months, maybe every month. But if your organization's up and running and fucking established, and your board is essentially like still meeting monthly, that's a good sign that they don't have a lot of faith in your leadership, or they don't know how to do their own job. Like, I've been on like 20 boards. I would never be on a board that asks me to come to a monthly fucking meeting. Fuck out of here. Like, who do you know that's accomplished enough to bring value to the board, but also can be at a fucking 2.5 hour meeting every month? That's fucking crazy. It may be in the beginning when it's a working board or whatever you want to call it. Here's the other thing. At some point, you got to fucking tell your board when they got to go. Like, yeah, they're your boss, but there's also the court of public opinion. Like, if you're running an amazing organization and doing amazing work, they are your boss, and I get it. Like, you know, this is where the strategist in me comes in, because I get that the bylaws say that they're your boss and that they can decide to terminate you and so on, but you have a different kind of power if you're running an amazing organization. You have the power of the public opinion, and you have the power of the court of public opinion, and you need to know how to leverage that instead of doing what I see people do, which is suffer with their fucking board for fucking years. Like, suffer for fucking years with the board, knowing the board is not a fundraising board, and like really hoping the board just does the right thing. First of all, if your board chair is not even down with you, then you don't even have a good board chair. And if you don't have and that's the one main person that you have to have on your board that's on your team. I don't care if they say they on the board's team, they supposed to be on your team, because you're supposed to be meeting with your board chair and discussing the challenges of the board, and then your board chair is the one that's expected to execute and get the board in line. That's how the fuck it works. Nobody's gonna say it out loud to you. That's the thing about my career. When I started my career and I got to the point of working at this large reentry organization, most of y'all know the fuck I'm talking about. Like, the ED thought I was gonna be her little black puppet, her little lapdog and shit. It's crazy how fast you go from pet to threat. But she started just showing me everything, like inviting me into all the meetings, like talking like dirty about everybody behind closed doors, like just showing me how the fuck she was able to navigate all this nonprofit shit. But she never thought like I'd go out and do my own thing. She definitely always begged me not to like share the shit that she taught me. Like, yo, this is between us, this is confidential, remember that you signed a confidentiality agreement when you started working here, blah 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 blah. But my point is this, like, what I learned from her is that there's the rules, and then there's what white folks do, and then there's like whether black people want to take the privilege to try to do the same thing, knowing that you got to spend more capital to get it done, but also knowing that there's a strategy behind all this bullshit, that the same rules that apply to you as a black or brown leader don't necessarily apply to a white leader. So that's the other thing. When you think about who the fuck you put on your board, you need to think about diversity on your board. And I'm not one of those woke motherfuckers that's like, yo, you need to have a motherfucker with one leg, LGBTQ, Spanish speaking, migrant. Like, yo, that's not what the fuck I'm saying. I am fucking saying that if you get a board of mostly white people, and I'm speaking from motherfucking experience, either white people or black or brown people that are minions for white people and doing their bidding and carrying water for white supremacy, then you will find out the fucking hard way that you made a mistake. And why not just learn from me? Learn from my motherfucking mistakes. I hope this fucking rant is helpful, because it's also fucking cathartic for me years later in the private sector, having built 2 fucking new businesses from scratch. Like, took myself from making 170 grand a year to being a millionaire, at least on paper. I might be cash broke, but still, assets. So where I can have my own fucking voice, and then finally let this shit out. Some of it comes out in therapy, but some of that shit comes out right here in these rants. But also, it's a fucking gift to you. It's a gift to you, because most black people can't say what the fuck I'm saying. Most people who have a job and you're working for someone else and you live in paycheck to paycheck can't say what the fuck I'm saying. So I'm saying it for you, and I'm saying it to you, and I'm giving you a gift. And you know what I love? How many of y'all like will end up on a phone call with me, and I'll say some shit, or even just say the word fucking rant, and you'll be like, oh, I love your rant so much. Well, if you love my rant so much, that means you fucking listening. Why you ain't clicking like? Most of y'all don't even click like. Y'all so fucking scared. Y'all so, maybe I was that too. Like, you know, I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt. Maybe I was scared too when I was running a nonprofit. I know there was shit I would have did back then that I ain't doing now. Like, I'd go to like the Ford Foundation and have this whole fucking script and kiss ass and, you know, be dying to meet the fucking president and all this crazy shit, because that's what it takes, especially for black and brown people to work at nonprofits. You gotta really, you know, put on the show that they want you to put on. I haven't even worn a suit in the last 7 years, and I fucking write checks that are bigger than my entire fucking annual salary when I was in nonprofits. But when you're in nonprofits, you got to suit up. You got to be that good-looking, safe Negro that really represents the issues. to be able to get money from these foundations. I get it. But I'm not only speaking to black and brown people today. I'm actually speaking to anybody in nonprofit. I have white clients, white leaders. I have some organizations that are in the arts and in health and other places where it's not so much about being directly impacted. So I'm cool with that. You know, I'm not one of those people that's super uptight. I think that woke shit got out of hand anyway. That shit started making me fucking nauseous, ready to throw up in my mouth over the kind of shit that was coming out of people's mouths a few years ago. Especially when people don't even live that shit out. The minute somebody feels personally fucking aggrieved, all that woke shit goes out the window anyway. But that's another rant for another motherfucking Saturday. Today's Sunday, I get it. Stop. Give me some fucking grace. But that's another rant. Today's rant is just about over. I'm done. I got nothing else to say about boards. But if you want me to be on your board, I want you to reach out, not to me, to somebody else. I don't want to be on your fucking board. I'm done with that shit. But that's all I got for y'all today. Ain't much left of the weekend, but it's a whole ass Sunday. I'm back in Harlem. I got a lot of respect for y'all if you're doing the right thing. And actually, if you do need me, reach out to me, reach out to Gem Trainer, see how we can be helpful. And in the meantime, don't let no motherfucker steal your rainbow. I don't give a fuck who they are. A lot of haters out there. Don't let them steal your rainbow. Enjoy your weekend. Peace.